internet, so I can't go to anything. So there are two hotspots.
Hi, guys. Listen, hello, Facebook. Hello. Hello. Welcome to our feed. We're about to go live momentarily on WMBM. And so we're so happy that you joined us. Welcome to our first edition in the new year of MCI Live here at WAM 1490, AM 1490. As well as on all of our social media platforms. As we're preparing to go live, we just want to encourage you, if you're not a subscriber to our Miami Children's Initiative page here on Facebook or on YouTube, please subscribe so that you can always see any of our broadcasts or any of our past broadcasts. And then you'll always be in the loop of what's going on with MCI. All right, so you know that you have a different view from those who are watching on Facebook uh, generally, and so we're happy that you're here. You'll hear a little bit in between the radio show, so you see a little bit different on Facebook than what the radio show hears, and so you'll hear some of our chatter. So you're just a part of the MCI family. So again, we're so happy that you're here, so happy that you've joined us, and we'll be going live on the radio in just a few moments. I already have in the studio Mr. Cedric Dawkins, who's always here, my co-host. We have Misty Brown in the studio, one of our guests. And we also have in our studio Miss Priscilla Roman. We're so excited about all of them that are with us. And so we'll come back formally in a few minutes on the radio show to begin our actual broadcast. So we'll be back.
I can't see.
That's backstage.
No. I can't see.
All right, guys, thank you again. You heard me kind of in the pre-show welcoming you in. We're about to go live on WNBM. We're just waiting for the cue from the engineer studio to go live. But happy New Year to you all. Miss Brown, if you would turn down your computer. Mhm. Oh, yes. All right, there we go. We are now live on the radio. WMBM is in the studio. Thank you guys for those who are watching. We're in the pre-show. Some commercials are running on the radio. We're so happy that you're here. Live in the studio, we have a couple of guests. We have also, as we're functioning through StreamYard, we have some that are on virtual in our virtual studio. So we're so happy. We're just terribly excited to be here. All right, we're going on.
The first Tuesday of the month with critical information about all of the great things going on in the community with yours truly, Miss Latasha Daniels, right here on AM.
All right, in 60 seconds, we're going live. All right, we're gonna have to figure it out. I think that's why I think you should talk through the radio, through the mic. Guys, thank you for waiting and being so patient with us.
The following is a paid advertisement. The information presented during this segment is not necessarily supported, endorsed, or promoted by WMPM, New Birth Broadcasting, its staff, management, or other advertisers. The advertisers are solely responsible for any information listed or discussed in this segment.
All right, they're playing the intro for the show. Well, good afternoon and welcome, welcome, welcome to the first edition of MCI Live here on AM 1490, the gospel radio station that puts Jesus Christ first and blesses many. Happy New Year. We are so terribly excited to be a part of this new beginning, this new moment here in this great city of Miami. But also, we're so terribly excited about uh, the potential of a new year. I don't know who's watching or who's out there, but listen, if you don't feel like you have the badge of a survivor, you've got to know that you're wearing the badge of a survivor. That 2020 gave us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 million punches. We'll say it that way. But listen, you dodged and you weaved and you made it through. And so here at Miami Children's Initiative, we're so happy that you're a part of this family. You're a part of this moment with us, beginning the new year. So let me see. I hear a little bit of a feedback here coming from in the studio, but let's see how we work this out, Mr. Dawkins. I want to bring in my monthly co-hosting guest, who's always with us, Mr. Cedric Dawkins. Let's see. While we got a little bit of time to see how we figure that out.
Good morning.
Let's get you off mute.
Yes, that will help. That will help. Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to MCI Live Community Radio, January 2021. Today we have a great show planned. We have some special guests. We have Ms. Priscilla Ramon, Program Director of the Little Lighthouse Foundation. We have Rick Beasley, who's the Executive Director of Career Source South Florida. And we have our very own brand new Miss Misty Brown, the new Program Director for MCI Evidence to Success Initiative. She will introduce herself and the initiative and let you know all about that. So let's just dive right in, Ms. Daniels. Let's talk about the updates from December of 2020.
So it's been a whole year since I've seen you,
whole
right?
year.
It's been a whole year. That's how we'll do that. But listen, a lot happened in the month of the following of November and
Right.
leading into December.
Yes.
A lot happened. And we're so happy that a part of every every month.
I'll have to put up on our screen the information and everything that's going forward
Yes.
regarding how we took pictures and everything in the last food co-op distribution with our children.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to share that information. The last thing is we had our end of the year Together for Children Coalition meeting. And for those of you who are watching, I want you to know that MCI, or I as the CEO, but also I have the privilege of chairing the local Miami-Dade Together for Children Liberty City Coalition. I have the wonderful privilege where we bring together community-based organizations in Liberty City. We are averaging about 50 of those. We started off early last year. We started averaging about 50 CBOs per meeting. Of course, toward the end of the year, as we were all feeling the impact of COVID, some of those numbers kind of fell off, but I want to run strong and run hard. So Cedric, I want to use this moment to talk to those Liberty City community-based organizations. Often we need to remember that we're stronger together. Yeah. And the Together for Children Coalition, which is currently meeting virtually, but we need the third Wednesday of every month.
We want to encourage you, if you are in the Liberty City, you want to be a part of a collective impact, we want to encourage you to join us. And if you're interested in being a part of this community network of both community-based organizations and institutions, what we call anchor institutions, which include Department of Children and Families, Juvenile Justice, it includes the school district, and it includes county government. If you want to be a part of that, where we're having direct impact and change, I want to encourage you to call Miami Children's Initiative. And that's at 786-488-5512 to be a part of this collective that we have. We're right now running very strong, where we're moving to have a real action plan to address teen violence, pregnancy, educational disparities, and we're doing it as a group monthly, developing a real action plan that is going before the mayor's office, going before both the county and the city. And so we want to encourage you to be a part of that. Again, if you want to be a part of that, and those other organizations out there listening, why don't you come and consider being a part of that? Reach out to MCI for that. And so we had our end of the year meeting. We're getting ready to prepare to have that again the third Wednesday, and we want to surely encourage you to be a part. Now let's get to, I'm spending too much time on past stuff, but I got to get to some stuff that it made my heart feel with joy, Cedric. Yeah. Now, what was our date? We did it on December 20th.
Yes, that Sunday.
We did it December 20th, our first Sunday event.
Traditionally, Miami Children's Initiative
has always had a toy giveaway to those children who were a part or who are a part of our after-school programs. And note that Miami Children's Initiative services Charles Drew and Miami Northwestern, but we are so proud to say and to make an announcement that we're extending and expanding that in 2021 to now include schools as Olinda, to include school as Orchard Villa, Kelsey Farr, to include them now in our MCI family. And we're so proud to be able to do that. And we started off in Thanksgiving where we did turkeys, where we were able to give 10 families per school in Liberty City turkeys. And so we were able to distribute about 100 turkeys out to
and also Arlington Heights as well.
And Arlington Heights, out to families who were identified by the administration of the school. In that same way, we've continued a follow-up pattern and path with them. And so at Christmas time, where we traditionally take about 200 children over, in the past, we had a relationship and have a relationship with Key Biscayne. We would put them on a bus, they'd go over to the Christmas parade, and it would just be a day full of like a picnic, of a day just of leisure and fun. But this year, we had to think outside of the box. We had to think, how do we do this differently? And also have a greater impact.
And I'm on the gospel radio station, so I can tell the truth. I prayed about it. I said, now, how do we do this?
Right.
And I tell you, God answers prayer. Now, he doesn't always come in on a flying wing of an angel, but I think this young lady we're about to bring in surely looks like a little bit of an angel to me.
Oh
her
my
name is
goodness.
Priscilla Roman. Hello, Priscilla.
Hi, Miss Daniels. Hi, Cedric. How are you?
Hello, hello.
So listen, Priscilla is a part of a tremendous organization named the Little Lighthouse Foundation. Priscilla, welcome to MCI Live. Welcome
Thank you.
to our monthly radio podcast, if you will. And I didn't want to start this conversation without you. So let me just put the teaser out here, and then I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself.
Sounds
So
good.
back on December 20th, at the Joseph Caleb Center, if for those of you who know the area, I want you to imagine seeing a line from the Joseph Caleb Center on 54th Street down to 62nd, around the corner, down to 23rd Avenue, twice. That happened on December 20th because on December 20th, we were able to do a toy and food and hygiene, personal hygiene pack, wellness pack.
Wellness pack, like baskets packed.
Yeah, that had mask and hand sanitizer. It had information about how to start the new year off with, because you got to be healthy, mind, body, and soul.
Correct.
But how to go to school at Dorsey. We had information on how to properly wash your hands from Jesse Trice. So all of these community partners came together. But I tell you, to be able to distribute
1,000 toys, over 500 hygiene packets,
and then 14,000 meals.
Wow.
Little Miami Children's Initiative would not have been able to accomplish that without the Little Lighthouse Foundation. So Priscilla, tell us, who is the Little Lighthouse Foundation, and tell us what you do with them.
Absolutely. Thank you for that beautiful intro. So, the Little Lighthouse Foundation, much like MCI, we're a nonprofit here in Miami trying to do our thing. So we are a 501c3, and the heart and soul of what we do truly is volunteering. So traditionally, post-COVID and pre-COVID, we create volunteer programs. So we actually go to partners like MCI, we go to shelters, we go to hospitals, and we do a variety of programming. That's our story hour, activity hour, our dance program, Move and Groove, cooking at the Ronald McDonald House. So we have this whole truly menu of programming, and our goal is twofold. It's, of course, to bring that programming to the underserved children in our community, but also to make volunteering easy and accessible. So through this, much like the coalition that you were just speaking of, it's partnerships. So, for example, for the holidays, Hasbro was a huge partner of ours. Hasbro donated about 6,000 toys total so that we were able to impact. Yeah, it was incredible, so that we were able to impact as many children as possible this year for the holidays, because it is, and we feel blessed. We were able to make such a huge impact, actually larger than what we normally do with an in-person event, through this toy drive and distribution that we were able to put together. So we're just thankful to be able to do it, much less hear the testimonials of you all actually giving it to the families and hearing the impact that it has per family. It's huge. So that's the Little Lighthouse. I am the program director, so I manage all of these programs that we have, and we're a small team over here. It's myself, and shout out to our incredible executive director, Jonathan Babica. He is the best.
Awesome.
The energy that he just gives off, it helps me do my job so much better. So, we're a small team. So, truly we get into I wear a lot of hats, and we all know this working in nonprofit, but the heart and soul of what we do.
We have to do all things. We have to become all things to everybody in the nonprofit world.
Correct. Never in my life did I think I'd be a graphic designer, but here I am, So, the heart and soul of everything is volunteering and just coming together and bringing people together that can do these incredible things.
And so let's get back to that day. You talk about how you have connected organizations. But you don't go for little fish, which is okay. Everybody got to eat. But we are so impressed with the fact that Little Lighthouse said, okay, you need toys? We're not going around the corner just to the local Walmart. We're going to Hasbro. We're going to Mattel. we're going to the people who actually create the toys.
Yes.
And I got to give you big ups for that, because that is tremendous. And the impact that you were able to have, you were able, like you said, in total to do 6,000 toys. And as you suggested, it's amazing that, and I put this on a personal post, that in COVID, to some people, it was the worst year, but to others, it was miraculous, right? And for me and for the children and the babies, here I'm getting emotional, the babies that we were able to see their little eyes light up, where we normally could only do 200 or 300, to be able to do over 1,000 toys, and the line kept growing. And I want you to know from the depth of my heart, because I'm a product of Liberty City. I grew up in Liberty City. I attended Charles Drew and Northwestern, the schools that we serve. These moments matter, Priscilla. These moments matter. And yeah, if someone said, well, kids need more than a toy, but why not also let them have a book and a toy?
Right.
And we also saw the meal. So talk to us a little bit about the meal portion, because we talked about the food. I mean, we talked about the toys, and then we'll talk about how we got to 14,000 meals.
Yeah, so that's incredible. Congratulations on, I mean, just everything. The expansion is amazing. I love to see you all thriving, because you're doing the work, truly. So the meals was, again, we just started reaching out. We had conversations previously with Feeding South Florida. One of our, great partners is Health in the Hood. Health in the Hood actually helped us build last year, January 2020, an urban garden in Little Haiti for our birthday of service last year. Did we lose Miss Daniels? I don't see her.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. There we go. So we started reaching out, and that was where truly the community came together, because all of our fundraising went towards meals. So truly every dollar that came in, it went towards meals. So with the help of Health in the Hood and Feeding South Florida, we were able to do grocery boxes of dry goods, so it doesn't have to be stored. You could stick it in the kid's backpack, stick it in the car. It gets the family, and then we got these amazing meals from Eat Clean as well, who came through Health in the Hood, because Eat Clean has been working to just get meals out there to the elderly, to shelters, to anybody really that needs it throughout the pandemic. So they partnered with us and really helped us get as many meals as we could based on our budget, but it was the community coming together and donating that allowed us to do it. And they even, we told them, we're like, our partners at MCI, we distribute it on Friday, and we're like, they're not going to be able to hold on to these meals, and the kids need them, because the meals really, we were adamant about it. The toys are important, but like you said, you need to be just to have the sense of peace for the holidays, and having some meals in the fridge do that, and they were,
because we ran the project, right at the end of school for the Christmas break. And often, if the only time many of the children would get meals is at school. And so that was key to us, to get meals to them. Yes, the school district were doing their part, and we're no slight to them, but we know that most children don't eat just one meal, right? So they're going to go back to the refrigerator. I mean, COVID it did help some of our waistlines, in the sense that we expanded, right? Because we found ourselves, you're hungry if you're sitting at home, you're trying to go to the refrigerator. Right. But Cedric, because Priscilla talked about Health in the Hood, and, the dry boxes. Right. But talk to us about the other partner who came to us with the Scots, Miss Page.
Oh, yes. Well, we had food partners who helped, enhance the entire, I want to say extravaganza, even though it wasn't an extravaganza, but, just kind of enhance the whole experience, we'll say that. So in combination with the toys and the food and just the whole atmosphere, I mean, it was something that kids will truly remember, even if they, don't have, as much as maybe other kids have, but just to have those experiences, it creates like priceless memories that they can, they can hold on to, and kind of give them that motivation to keep going forward. So we appreciate everything from the Little Lighthouse Foundation, and, as well as all the other sponsors that pitched in for that day to make it a success.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Here. All right. So Priscilla, talk to us about some of the upcoming projects, because I know I got a chance to see Nellie up close and personal. And her, right? I got a chance to see Nellie up close and personal at your kind of weekend event where you celebrate.
Yeah.
I know COVID maybe provide some challenges, but what's coming up for Little Lighthouse, and how can people, our listening audience, those who will view us on Facebook and others and on YouTube, how can they get involved with Little Lighthouse Foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're referring to our Hearts and Stars Gala, who is the Hearts and Stars. So look, Little Lighthouse, yes, we do so much in the community. We also throw some of the best fundraisers around. It's who we are.
Now y'all have a party now.
We know how to throw a party too. It doesn't hurt. You know, we consider ourselves very progressive, and in Miami, it's part of the culture. I'm Miami born and raised as well, so it's part of our culture. So the Hearts and Stars Gala is normally, yes, a fabulous 3-day weekend fundraiser. It's the heart and soul of all of our fundraisers. And of course, because of COVID, we weren't able to execute because it in and of itself, like you described, Miss Daniels, is just like an over the top. It's 1,200 people coming together. You have a recording artist, a DJ, so we don't want to execute if it's not going to be true to what it is. So as of right now, we are rescheduled for March. I mean, pending what we're looking at in the world, it's so hard to plan. But at some point this year, we will be back with the Hearts and Stars Gala. So definitely everyone can keep an eye out for that. The best way to keep in touch is through our social media channels. And you'll also find on our social media channels our Do Good, Feel Good Live. DGFG Live is the heart and soul of our programming right now. So we've been having a lot of conversations like this, incredible conversations with community partners about kindness, doing workouts, doing a mindfulness exercise that we just did yesterday. So it's a lot of great resources for parents and kids that are at home as well. So check us out on Instagram at LL Foundation to check out DGFG Live, and you'll also get all the updates there as well for our fundraisers and anything else that we've got coming up. We do celebrate our 11th birthday in January, so we can expect something for that at the end of the month. So at LL Foundation on Instagram and on Facebook. On Twitter, we're at LLF News.
Wow.
So that's
Okay.
that's some phenomenal information.
Hold on. That's some phenomenal information. I'm glad to hear how we've all been forced to evolve in COVID and how successful Little Lighthouse Foundation. So LLF Foundation is where we can find you on Instagram.
Yes.
Listen, let me put up, I saw Jonathan, he came in for a little minute, he said great discussion, and we salute him, amazing work from our community, for our community. And so we appreciate Jonathan so very, very much.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
For all that you're doing. And Little Lighthouse, we just look forward to continue to expand on our partnership and how we do things together. I want to go ahead and put it out there. We are trying to figure out how we can do a kickball tournament in March. We're trying to figure out what that looks like or how that happens. And so just for your volunteers and things like that, we'll surely let you know about that. All right.
Amazing. I look forward to it.
Go to break, but any last comments you'd like to share before you leave?
I mean, just thank you for our partnership. I've been with Little Lighthouse 4 years now, and we've been working with MCI since before that. So, I mean, it's a growing partnership for sure. And we look forward to it, just making as big an impact as we can.
All right. Thank you, guys. Can y'all give me some hearts out there on social media for Miss Priscilla Roman and the Little Lighthouse Foundation? Again, they help Miami Children's Initiative serve Liberty City by giving out over 1,000 toys, about over 500 hygiene with masks and hand sanitizer, but also we were able to give, in partnership with them, on the Page Foundation, we were able to give out 14,000 meals. So nobody was hungry who left there on December 20th. Blessings to you and Jonathan. And guys, we'll be right back after this short radio break.
All right. So guys,
You on mute? Oh.
All right, guys. So Facebook will still hear us talking while they're off on radio.
Amazing.
And so I'm just so happy that how you feel? You feel it went well?
Great. Yeah. Thank you for having us on. I mean, we're happy to do, just spread the word any opportunity we can. So this is great.
All right. Well, Priscilla, thank you again. I see Mr. Rick Beasley is hanging out. He's ready to go. So we're going to queue up and have a few moments with him before he comes on. All right. Bye, Priscilla.
Bye. Have a beautiful day.
Hey,
Good looking. What you got cooking? Unmute yourself, Mr. Beasley. And I sent to you on Facebook Live. Hey. So,
How you doing today?
how you doing there, sir? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was trying to make sure I got on. I gotta let my assistant know that to provide me a link through an email. I can't access it through my cell phone, and so I almost missed it. I had to get run from one shop to another. So I'm here.
Gotcha.
Cedric, but what's going on with your hair, man? I needed some of whatever you're doing. Let me have some.
This is my my post-pandemic hairdo.
Well,
I was
can't
trying to grow too much here, so I was afraid to cut it off now.
I can't grow it. So whatever you're doing, man, pass some of that over here so I can grow.
I know somebody you can.
And I do too. I have it down your back, Rick. Well, listen, I'm going to take you off. We still have some viewing audience. Thank you for those who are watching on Facebook now. Thank you for those. We're coming back now from our radio break, and we're going to bring Mr. Rick Beasley on. So I'm going to take you out of the studio for a moment and bring you back. I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to mute yourself. All right, guys, what do you think? So put some comments in the comment section so that we know that you're out there. Thank you.
thank you, James Kitchen. I see you. Hello. I see we get some hearts from Jonathan. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And Shanika was there. Shanika, listen, while we're on, just thank you for bringing the volunteers to be a part of our event. You were tremendous help and support to us. She even got me moving, y'all.
She's got me being more conscious about health and everything. We dropped a few little pounds, and we thank God, a little face getting a little smaller.
What's a few? Be specific. 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9.
It's grown people business. That's what it is. That's grown people business. So we want to salute everyone for that. Thank you for being a part. All right, I think we're about to come back from break. You ready? All right.
All right. Waiting on my cue from the inside. And then we'll come back. For those of you who are watching, thank you for joining us. We're right back here. Okay, and I'm back. All right, welcome back to our listening audience on AM 1490 WMBM. It is always our pleasure. Again, we want to open up after coming back after the break to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and yours. I opened this show by saying I hope all of you are proud to wear the I Am a Survivor badge, that you survived 2020. That is something to be said. I want you to know that personally, my family was touched on several occasions by COVID. And so I understand the realness of still being alive in 2021. And so we laud you, we celebrate you. You may not have everything you want, but let me tell you, you got life, and that's something to celebrate for. I'm also in the studio with Mr. Cedric Dawkins, who is right here with us. Always so happy to have him here at AM 1490 in the studio. All right, so now we're back from the break. Man, Priscilla Roman was phenomenal from the Lighthouse Foundation. So happy to hear what's going on. So happy that they're able to tap into a part of Miami. We didn't get a chance to talk about that, but they're able to tap into that Brickell, Miami, that crowd to get them moving and donating. A lot of business people, a lot of business owners flow through Little Lighthouse Foundation, and we're so happy to have had so many of them that want to partner with us. So let's go ahead. Our topic of the day is pushing past the pandemic and how to get back on track. And as I just mentioned, Cedric, you know, often people are talking about they want to, 2021 or the new year, they want to get healthy. You know, they want to be in shape.
This is a time that people start cleaning out closets. Wait, let me get in the screen right. They start cleaning out closets.
Yeah.
They realize that they want to work out, like I mentioned. And it's important to note that MCI will be opening up their community gym. And so just stay tuned when we come back here next month for our radio show. And for those of you as will be following us on I Am Liberty City, following us on Miami Children's Initiative YouTube, you can hear all of this. You can also go to our website, MiamiChildren'sInitiative.com, and subscribe to our news,
our weekly news.
Weekly newsletter.
Thank you. I couldn't say newsletter right then. On Constant Contact. You can get all of the information, but we're getting ready to open up a Liberty City gym. And we are so excited about bringing on a new personal trainer who's going to be able to work with us and everything like that. But I do want you to know, in addition to that, that
often people are talking about going back to school. They're talking about employment. They find themselves, they want to go, put the old out. They want to start fresh. They want to start new. So listen.
New year, new me.
New year, new me. Yeah, you got to get back in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay. So in between that time, why wouldn't we, if we're gonna get you information, we're not gonna go to the man next to the man. We're gonna go to the man for working, for moving people forward in South Florida. And I want to bring him into the studio, none other than Mr. Rick Beasley, Executive Director of Career Source of South Florida. Welcome, Mr. Beasley, to the studio.
My sister, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
Listen, I'm excited. You heard me say I'm a survivor of 2020, so I'm doing all right. I'm 6 feet above the ground, so I'm feeling all right, sir.
Well, everybody should feel blessed just to wake up today. Everybody should feel blessed. And
yes,
so, I heard the segment before, and I was just impressed with what the Little Lighthouse, what they do for our community. And again, I want to thank you for what you do for this community, particularly in Liberty City. I know you've been over there fighting and making sure that the kids, their families there have access. And I just want the folks who can hear my voice to know that Miss Daniels always makes sure that I have her ear. She wants to, I know when I see her, so just for the public, I know when I see her, this is my joke to her, that I always have to make sure my pockets are empty, because when I leave, leaving with her, I'm broke. But I do want to just tell the audience what the work that you do. Sometimes, we don't give roses. We give them after they're gone. So I just want to give you my rose now to say, hey, thank you for what you do for this community, and particularly in Liberty City. You've been working very hard over there. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. Words weighted and words well received. Thank you very, very much, because when you were reared in that community, I grew up in Liberty City.
Right.
So my perspective is a little bit different sitting at that table when people are just kind of pontificating on what we can do. It's like, listen, when all that's over, let's talk about how we gonna get it done. And so that's why I'm like, hey, girl, can I get a band? Can I get an internship program? Can I get something? And I must say, to your credit, you have never pushed me away. If you didn't have it, you connected me to the people who did. And I appreciate you for that. So let's jump right in. Tell me a little bit about Career Source, so people who don't know who Rick Beasley is or what you do. Tell me a little bit about career work that we're doing.
Well, first of all, Rick Beasley is not important. I'm just a worker here that making sure that the people in our community have access. But what is important is Career Source South Florida and the work that we do. We are a board. We're a funder. We fund organizations to provide employment and training services throughout Dade and Monroe County. And so we have 14 centers through Dade and Monroe County. We fund employment and training programs in those communities. Our goal there is to ensure that folks have access, but we connect job seekers to employers and employers to job seekers. Our goal is to build capital. and human capital. And through this pandemic, our main goal is to keep families, trying to see how we keep families whole and how we can assist them in reaching the goal of gainful employment. And so we're a public-private board, and we're federally funded, but we're excited that we continue to provide services in this community. Did I lose you? Did I lose? Okay, I'm still here.
We're still here, Mr. B. Just keep talking. These internet platforms, we have to keep moving through it. Continue.
Well, no.
You are live on the radio, so that we hear you fine there.
Okay. Well, our goal, like I said, we're a board. We fund programs, and even partner with organizations like yourselves to see how we can find employment solutions, whether it's for our youth, whether it's for ex-offenders, whether it's for those who've lost their jobs. And keep in mind, there's a number of folks who've lost their jobs because of COVID. Our goal there is to come up with initiatives and programs that will help get people back to work. And I think, and I want to thank the staff that work for our providers, from the youth co-ops, the Res Cares of the world, to the Adult Mankinds, to Lutheran Services. These organizations, I forgot Greater Miami Service Corps. These organizations that we fund that really are out there working to make sure people are getting back to work. I want to commend the staff there because, again, because of COVID, we haven't shut, we've shut our doors in terms of having people just come in all the time. You can make appointments to come in, but our folks are there trying to see how we can continue to provide service. I thank them for being on the front line and making sure that they are there and accessible. But our goal here right now is really trying to come up with some initiatives that really will help. And I think we've come up with some that really have been motivating. We've been on the phone for the last, today, yesterday, and last week, even during the holidays, of working with some major employers with some great initiatives. We work with the Beacon Council when we fund the Miami Community Ventures program with Mike Finney and those folks over there. Those are things you really wouldn't know that we're a part of, but we fund those organizations so that they can continue to do good work.
And so, Rick, as people are moving, and you've hit a lot. You've kind of detailed to us what you do, the impact that you're having. But more specifically, someone who's looking at us will say, "I need a job. What are my next steps?" Of course, we've seen the dance or fiasco in DC as it relates to federal dollars coming down to state, and then the state bringing it into our local county. So talk to us about me being unemployed right now. What do I need to do, and how do I need to do it? What do I need to do right now?
So first, let me say, for those who are unemployed and they were having difficulty, as the Department of Economic Opportunity was having some difficulties with their Connect system. Because of that, we went ahead and launched an initiative of a phone system that enables individuals to call in. So first of all, for those who are still having difficulties with their unemployment, you can call 305-929-1547. Again, that number is 305-929-1547. You can call that number if you're having difficulties. You hit 1, that will connect you to, we have staff throughout Dade County who can assist you in getting information on how to get connected for your unemployment benefits, and even be able to find out what some difficulties are, why it's not going through. So if you're also looking for employment, you can still call that same number. It's set up for what we call a reemployment hub. If you call that number, 305-929-1547, it's going to gear you or point you to hitting 1 for unemployment, 2 for employment. And that telephone number, once you hit 2, it will connect you to one of the career centers nearest you, nearest your home, so that you don't have a long wait. But one of the things I do encourage everyone, if they can hear my voice, please call or please dial in or log in to www.employed Miami-Dade to get connected to employment jobs. You really don't have to go into a center. If you go in and put your work history, your education profile, upload your resume, that's going to be the first start. And I always encourage everyone to do that first before going into a center or calling, because you can actually look for employment and in jobs there. We have employers throughout Dade and Monroe County who list their jobs with us, and they actually do the job search themselves. And if your information is missing, and that's really the key, that if you enter your information there first, our goal there is that we wanted to identify what is missing so that employers can get connected to you. That's the key point there. But it's employed Miami-Dade, and if you're in Monroe County, employed Monroe County. But you get connected, put your work history, education profile, address, everything in there. We need all that, because employers, if you're missing that, employers will not be able to connect to you. And so our next step is then if you call in, we can schedule an appointment with you to go through a series of activities. But realistically, when you're calling in, you're going to connect it to someone live, okay? And they can do exactly everything over the phone that we would do in person. One, it's a safety item for the job seeker as well as the staff, but it's a way for us to get you connected and connected quickly. And so we're very excited that we were able to launch this. We have well over 200 pipelines in our system. So once you go in, you hit 2, you put in your zip code, it connects you directly to the Career Center. It dials you right into a staff member there. And so you're able to talk to the staff member to go through. If you've already logged in, they can look up your profile right online, go through a series of activities with you to see what is missing. Go ahead and make a referral. If there's additional services needed, they can make an appointment to have you come into the center to meet with them directly. And so if you're looking for jobs, and jobs are available, I'm going to tell you that point blank. Even at the height of the pandemic, we had employers who are looking for workers. And so there are a number of jobs that are available. And for those who've lost their jobs in particular industries, this is a wonderful opportunity to get reskilled, retooled, so that, again, you can get into an occupation that will help better, your family and your life. And so
you lead me right into my next question.
Okay.
Because we've recently partnered with Dorsey Technical College. And of course, there are organizations like Miami-Dade. But what are some real training opportunities that people can get potentially? They can get trained as they get paid as they get trained. Are there opportunities like that out there? Or some that they can quickly get into that they can begin to turn resources around for their home?
Well, there's a number, Latasha, that we have a number of programs. I'm going to try to list as many as I can off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. But I first, and you just reminded me, I forgot to give a shout out to our good friends over at the Circle of Brotherhood, Leroy Jones and Brother Lyle. And I can't forget our good principal over at Dorsey. She's going to kill me if I don't mention how wonderful those programs are. But we have a program in partnership with the Circle of Brotherhood, NANA, that we do a short-term construction program, okay? And actually, I think they're going to be doing, they should be out there doing recruitment for that program now. Okay. It is a short-term program in construction. And actually in construction, that's one of the industries that has continued to gain jobs even during this pandemic. Okay.
And I'll tell you, especially in Liberty City, and that big G word, gentrification is quite real in Liberty City, but there are a lot of high rises and developments, affordable housing going on in Liberty City. And so to be able to walk from your home to your job site would be phenomenal. And so that's great that the Circle of Brotherhood is doing that along with you at Workforce.
Well, let me first say this. We're just a funder, I have to give credit where credit is due. We have a fantastic principal over at Dorsey. We have some great leaders with Leroy Jones and Brother Lyle and those folks, Circle of Brotherhood. There's a number of brothers over there who are out there every day recruiting individuals, getting them there. We need individuals in Liberty City to come out and get into that construction program. We also been working with a number of companies on developing apprenticeship models. And so The program I just mentioned, Employed Miami-Dade, is not a program that you're going to get paid. I think, Leroy, I think, provides them a stipend in that particular program, okay, and also a bus pass. So again, reach out to the Circle Brotherhood, get connected to this training program. We do it through the Dorsey. That's a great program there. We also have a couple of apprenticeship programs that we've launched and some partnerships. I do want to give a shout out to we have he's going to kill me. OIC of South Florida, Newton Sannon. Those guys there have a couple programs. We also have Gang Alternative with my good friend over there, my good frat brother. They have an apprenticeship program that they liked. Mike Nozell, they've got a program over there. They've launched apprenticeship program as well. So there's partnerships that we have that not everything directly that we fund, but there's programs that we've got connected to that I know that they have these initiatives. Other programs that we have, again, for those who are looking for training, assistance, employment assistance, we've launched Operation Impact. It's a program that we launched to address the issues with the unemployment system that was not helping our people. So if you register through Operation Impact, not only do we help you look for a job, not only can we help you put you in training, but we can provide you up to $1,000 to help cover your child care, your car note, your house note, utility bills. We pay it on your behalf. And so that program was launched. We still have it going. You can actually go onto our website, www.careersource, and that's spelled Career Source, S as in Sam, Frank as in F as in Frank, and L as in Larry.com, careersourcesfl.com. You'll see Operation Impact. Get connected there. But those programs are there because of our career centers have been launched to assist the citizens in this community, as well as in Monroe, get access to jobs, get access to training. But in this case, we're also assisting you with up to $1,000 to pay your car note, to pay your house note, to get you at least something on the books to be able to help offset the losses that our people have taken over this pandemic. We're very excited about that program. I can tell you, I think it was like my last note, I think we had 650 families that we've engaged. So we're very excited about that program being launched. I can go on and on for the number of programs, but I do want to say this for small businesses. We launched a program, our Layoff Aversion Fund, for those companies that may have gotten access PPP. I could care less. If you did not or did, that's not my issue. Our goal here is how we can help employers keep people working. And so we've launched our Layoff Aversion Fund in partnership with the Beacon Council, with Mike Finney, with NANA, with Neighbors for Neighbors, with Leroy Jones and Tools for Change, those folks there. Also with Chemico, with the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, with Alfred Sanchez over there, Joe Chi over at Chemico. These organizations we're partnering with here in Dade County for those small businesses, and again, for those employers between 3 to 50. If you've paid money to reset, retool your company, we'll reimburse you up to $10,000, okay? Up to $10,000. You just apply through the websites, through the organizations I mentioned again, Greater Miami Chamber, the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, Chemical, the Beacon Council, and Tools for Change are the organizations that we're partnering with. And so you can get reimbursed up to $10,000. You got to have a minimum of at least 3 employees and have spent money on trying to reorganize, reconnect your company and to keep people working. That was the intent of that program.
Now, Mr. Beasley, we have come to time just flies. Can you believe that's been 15 minutes already? It just flew by. You know, in radio time, that's a ton of things. But we just want, as you close and listen again, Career Source South Florida is where they can get that information. You have opportunities, and if they need, and I don't want to miss a moment because MCI, we have our community space, and if they want to find out more information about you, we're going to partner with you even further to make sure we have insight or on-site your contact information, so people, if they need it, they know how to contact. But we also know, as you said, and they can call in, because anything that was done in person can now be done telephonically.
Right.
And so we've learned how to evolve in that. I just know returning citizens and those who need a resume building, talk to me as we close out on that point.
Again, real quickly, we want them to get connected to our career centers, but also part of agencies like yourselves. But call our number, 305-929-1547, for those returning citizens. And again, majority of them are going to be men. We have difficulties with our handwriting. And just a quick note, please get a friend, family member, sister, daughter, someone who can type up your application. That gets your foot in the door. Oftentimes we kind of bypass that. We sit up there, we write our application real quick and don't think that people don't take a look at that and preclude you from an opportunity. It does. So please have someone take the time, take it back, type it up, so that it gets your foot in the door, because it looks presentable. And that's what you want to do. But go to our career centers. I will share with you real quick, Latasha, we'll send over to you our top 10 jobs. I'll make sure that you're on that list. If you're not getting them, every day we send a top 10 jobs that are available in our system every day. So if organizations who like to get a hold of that list, I got to make sure we put that on our website if it's not there. But we get a top 10 job listing every day in Dade County and Monroe County. We do it in English, Spanish, and in Creole. But I did for this radio show, I wanted to make sure I got the top 10 jobs that are in Liberty City.
Okay.
I know we have some insurance program managers, the Uber Technologies, phlebotomist, that's One Blood Inc., manager for Capital One, or Real Travel Retail Americas. That's like 3 or 4 of them. I know we have a business consultant over at the Res Care of the Career Center there, armed service security guards, a private school teacher, a career advisor. We have a cable installation, that's through Goodwill, and then the child care worker. Those are the top 10 that staff have given me just in the Liberty City area. So if you can reach out again, to call the telephone number 305-929-1547. You can reach a career advisor at one of our career centers, and particularly it's going to be at the Northside Career Center if you're in the Liberty City area. But I also suggest, please go online, complete your resume, your application, your registration through www.employedmiamidade.com. Fully register, get connected. You can start looking for jobs right there on the spot. We even have a mobile app. You can download the mobile app.
Download that
right on your cell phone. And so it's that easy. It is that easy. Okay. But anything for you, Ms. Daniels, you know we're going to take care of.
Listen, we appreciate it. So we're going to get a list of those available jobs. Make sure that get posted on our website, on all of our social media platforms. And then we're going to continue. Now, you know, I'm going to circle back and get, since I got to talk, you know, you already talked about your pockets. I won't just talk a little bit more about your pockets.
They empty the day.
We'll talk a little bit about how we can move forward. We're in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Let me look good of the show, and I've got one other person in the studio, and so I want to bring last 6 minutes of the show. I want to bring Misty Brown on. I'm gonna leave you on here for a quick minute, Mr. Beasley.
Oh, now you're double teaming me. You know I can't say no to Misty. So now you're
Miss Brown, welcome to MCI Live. Mr. Beasley, we were apart last time we were together. We were at a launch party for this young lady. And so I didn't want you to get out of here. And I want to say to those who are listening on the radio, we're going to have to wrap up because we're live on the radio. But those who are watching us on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, and all those different platforms, we're going to continue this conversation just for a few more minutes. But Mr. Beasley, what did you experience in that chill night at the Urban? What were you a part of?
Well, first of all, you know, I'm from Missouri, so I don't get too cold. But I do want to say this to my sister, who she knows I love her to death or to life, Misty Brown. Hey, for those who need an outstanding consultant, but a wonderful community leader, knows the ins and outs, touch base with Misty Brown. But that's my sister. She knows I love her. That's my sister. And she knows I can't tell her no, so don't ask me for anything. on asking, but you know, most of y'all know I can't tell you no. So I think
Listen, so you say if you wise, you would employ or find the services of Misty Brown. Well, Miami Children's Initiative did just that, sir. We did just that. We were wise, and we're so proud to have Miss Misty Brown a part of this team. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. Let me just say goodbye to WMBM as we are right here at the or do I got how many more minutes I got? I got 5 minutes. I got 3 minutes. Misty, in 3 minutes, give me your elevator speech to the radio about evidence to success, and then we'll continue this conversation on Facebook and social media. Go right ahead.
Do it.
Did we lose Misty?
I can do it.
No, it looks like we can hear her on the radio, but we're losing her on the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her out, bring her into the actual studio. Let me bring her, and she actually is going to come in. Mr. Beasley, it's been phenomenal. For those of you who've been listening and watching on radio, we're going to continue this on our social media platforms. But those of you on WMBM AM 1490, we will be right back here. The Lord willing and life lasts. And the way the old people used to say, if the creek don't rise, we will be right back here on WMBM. The first Tuesday of February. And so we're going to say goodbye to our radio audience and continue this conversation now on our social media platform. Come on around here, Miss Brown. Look, we learned how to evolve in COVID. Come on around this way. You just go sit in my chair and talk to us about evidence to success. You don't need that. Talk to us about, look at her, she don't know what to do. Come on, sit down. give me my book. All right, so talk to us about evidence to success and what that means to Liberty City. Don't she look pretty, y'all? Y'all see her, look at her.
You look fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. Beasley. I can take you out. Thank you for being with us, okay?
Thank you all. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, Miss Brown, you're on.
So I first want to say, and I hope Rick Beasley is still listening, that was the greatest shout out ever between these two. And but my real purpose of being here today is joining the Miami Children's Initiative as their Evidence to Success site coordinator. And I'm so excited not only to have them as my first client, but to work with a community-based organization that I have had the pleasure in working with for over 10 and a half years. The Miami Children's Initiative had great early leaders, including my former boss, the former chairwoman of the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners, Audrey Edmondson. And she was instrumental, along with other leaders, to bring the Miami Children's Initiative into our Liberty City area, into South Florida. So I'm grateful that I've had already an entree to the great work that they do within our community. The Evidence to Success program is an evidence-based program that provides a framework or toolkit, if you will, to engage communities and public systems on the well-being of our children and our youth. And I know you say, oh, here's another program, but this one is one that really drills down to not only looking to how to provide services for our children and our youth that are at risk, but have protective factors that also have some funding behind them. Many times the good work of our community-based organizations, they struggle with the funding aspect, and the work has been stellar. But this particular program, Evidence to Success, it gathers all the resources from many collaborative efforts and partners to make sure that the money is going into the areas that are most needed. We actually do a youth survey, and that'll be coming up in this next school year, but a youth survey to hear what they're saying, what they believe their risk factors are. We can all agree that there are many in our urban core. Just the other day, we had a shooting at one of our community parks. 8 children, young adults were injured. And so we know one of the risk factors could be high family conflict. I love the terminology, and although we know what that means, it's different from child to child. It could be not doing well in school, and so you feel, your self-esteem is low and you just want to get out and be out. But we know, unfortunately, that we have senseless crime in our communities, and we are addressing that too. So this work, again, it's a collaborative work. They have reached major milestones. We've gathered a group of community leaders, and MCI is leading that charge, and I am grateful to be a part of that. So you'll hear more, you'll see more of us. COVID dismissing willing, will be out back in our streets, in our schools, in our parks, in our community, making a difference in the lives of our children. Thank you.
Cedric is going to give you a couple, he's going to ask you a few questions, but if I may, let me just lead in, Cedric, by asking Misty, and you guys see we're being creative in this podcast mode form, right? But Misty, I think one of the things for evidence to success is they're allowing data or finding what the need is to drive how they meet the needs of the community. And I think that's what kind of makes this, unique in its sense, that it's not professionals coming together and saying, oh, this is what's wrong with the community and let us fix it, but it's an actual engagement process. And so what are some of those steps of engaging the community? So it's just not removed with people talking, institutional people talking, but community people talking.
And so I thank you. And when I started off using language that we hear from time to time, evidence-based is exactly what Ms. Daniels, Latasha is talking about, the data-driven evidence of what is actually happening in our community. And yes, you have some of the heads that you are accustomed to seeing in our community, but you also drill down. We have community participation, not only for parents and teachers and other community-based organization leaders, but we also have our youth. And we're engaging our youth in different ways with different youth groups, not only the youth through the MCI programs at Charles R. Drew and Northwestern and some of our other wonderful schools within that catchment zone, but outside of that as well with other organizations like Power U and Planned Parenthood and Girl Power, ones that you're familiar with. And we're asking them, because risk factors for me when I was growing up may have been my white girlfriend who lived around the corner, who had a sleepover, and her mom had Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, and she opened up one and all of us took a sip. And so was alcohol a real risk factor for me? Not necessarily for me, but my neighbor who knew how to get it and go into her mother's refrigerator. But risk factors could vary.
Well, my risk factor was puff gear.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's still a risk factor today. But risk factors come along with peer pressure. And our peer pressure was really different back when I was growing up, and I'm not aging myself, but you had a conversation on the playground and you might have scrapped it out there or right after school, but we didn't have this social media thing. And the shooting that I'm talking about started off through a social media dispute. And could have, thank God, at this point, there's no one deceased, but no loss of life, but they're injured kids. And that brings on trauma, which is another risk factor. And, long-term things that we as a community have to work with. But I love this work. I love the work.
We're happy to have you.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Go ahead, Cedric, what were some questions? And then we're going to wrap up, guys.
I just want to ask you, well, first, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Cedric.
I want to ask you, first of all, you kind of touched on it, but what would you say, just to kind of bring it to a layman's level for the listeners, who would be considered the service audience for evidence of success? Would it be child care providers, early learning centers, actual students of a particular age or demographic, or are you just kind of compiling the data to share it with other institutions so that they kind of can prepare themselves to better their community?
Well, a combination of probably both, but I like what you said, because all of those entities that Cedric talked about are the ones that are actually at the table. And compiling the data is very important because that's going to then spearhead funding to the actual program, to the community for our children to receive. One thing and in my mind, and forgive me, my mind is going while you were talking. You said if who else was our audience that we would be, and some of them are public officials, but not only public officials. You'll hear people say public systems. Who is that? Our public school system, children and families, Department of Children and Families. We have our law enforcement aspect at the table. We have other foundations at the table. Those, some of those collaborative work, those that do collaborative work already in the community, but we're bringing them here as part of our data to then present to them, hey, this is what we really found out. These are the risk factors that are now in today's, serving a present day, as the scripture would say. These are the risk factors that are, now out there. And then we're not just developing programs based on that. We're asking them, what do you think is needed to address these issues, and what type of programs? Back in the day, there would be the programs where we just would go out of school and go to a certain program and play.
Right.
And it kept us safe. So safety might have been the risk factor, and electeds and public officials thought that might be the best way just to get them out of harm's way. But there are other things that actually drill down, like programs like MCI. I mean, it's tutoring involved, it's parenting classes involved, it's exposing them, taking them on field trips and out of town and college fairs and those things that give them a different outlook on life, and try not to. I think, look, I'm getting fan clubs. Hopefully, this is money. But those types of things, Cedric. So we're addressing stakeholders.
Well, with all that being said, what would you say for 2021? Is evidence to success, like, how are they looking to make a difference? What is the vision board for evidence to success for 2021?
That's a fully loaded question.
Well, I think I can jump in because we're leading that work. Number one is getting, as Misty mentioned already, getting our youth involved, right? Because we formed a very good group out of our Together for Children coalition. And again, we mentioned this at the top of the show. If you're still watching and you're interested, we want to invite you to join the Together for Children Liberty City Coalition. That's where you have hands-on, you're able to be a part of the conversation, and you'll be a part of what is driving change to address the current issues. That we're not taking 1970 methods for a 2021 population. And so I think that is building our CBO population, because we have about 10 to 12 strong CBOs from Liberty City. When I say CBOs, community-based organizations. But we want some other people to be a part of this, so we have conversations. So building that youth platform, continuing to strengthen our community-based organizations. But more succinctly, as we're reviewing the data, the preliminary data that we've gotten through a state survey, that we're building the momentum toward our upcoming fall survey that will be given to all of those schools within the urban core, so that we then have real data. So over the next few months, we'll be reviewing data from a statewide perspective of what the issues are in Liberty City.
In order to make recommendations.
To make recommendations, but that is just defined to zip codes of Liberty City. So I don't want people to say, well, how are you going to take what's happening across in Ocala and
actual school survey. All right, I think we're wrapping up. Our computers are jerking off. I mean,
It won't let us speak great.
It won't let us
going to be
speak.
great
We
in
will be
2021.
well, we're going to be great. Thank you guys for your patience. How you continue? Let me say, how you continue to stay there, beautiful. Ain't she beautiful? How we continue to try to evolve, and you guys are stuck in there with us. We have to move yourselves. You're stuck in there with us as we continue to evolve in this social media presentation. We're looking forward. If you are an expert at this kind of stuff, come talk to MCI. We want to have a conversation with you because we've been trying to figure it out. We've been doing relatively well, but we're always ready to improve and especially do it better. So thank you, Misty. I'm so happy that you're part of this team. Y'all don't know, I love this lady to life. We go way back. We go way back, and we're gonna continue to move forward in trying to move what was then. You were committed to District 3. Absolutely. All right, you're right. But we're going to see how we move Liberty City forward, how we continue to move it forward. And I'm so happy to have you a part of this team. Cedric, thank you. Cedric always does a great job in securing our guests. Our Nitris, who's holding it down in the back of the studio, thank you. And guys, just stay in tune with us because we've got Coffee with the Cop coming up. We got a couple other programs. So, all right, we're going to log off, guys. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.